Thank you for tuning in. A live stream new episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show will be starting soon. With your host, minister, and author Stephanie M. Seaton. If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephaniemseatontheauthor@gmail.com.
Well, hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. I hope y'all like my 2025 intro. I'm trying to do a little something. Tonight, I have an amazing guest. MsNique has been here before. We have partnered together on a couple of events, and she is just high energy, high personality. I'm so happy to have MsNique. Let's welcome MsNique back to the stage.
Thank you so much, Queen Steph, for having me again.
Yes, ma'am. I know. This is really good. You know, the last time that you interviewed, we talked and talked and talked. We went over time, but it was some good conversation. And it was like, you know what, we need to do that again. And so I'm happy that we get the opportunity tonight to chat. We've kind of talked a lot off screen about our lives and, so many different similar things that we've both been through. And so now look at us both on the other side doing some amazing things to give back and to help other people. So that's amazing and a blessing in itself. So let's just jump in at MsNique. Go ahead and just tell me. First of all, you've got so many titles. You're a trauma healing coach. You're doing books. You're doing poetry. I mean, you're pretty much doing everything here. You're doing social media. You're doing branding. You have got a whole platform here. So tell me what kind of got you into the MsNique brand. How did it start?
So originally I started out, I guess I want to say, with publishing my memoir, although that is not the first book I published. The first book I published was the book of poetry. I used to write poetry I always wrote. I went through, I had a troubled upbringing. So I would write. And I decided through a therapist, actually. My therapist actually made me a mock book and basically was like, you should publish your book. So, as I got older, I decided I was going to go ahead and publish a book. And growing up, my brother, who is technically my cousin, we're a year and a week apart, but we are more like brothers and sisters. So he used to always call me Nique, even though my family called me Nikki. And so when it came time for me to, create a name, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Is there technical difficulties?
Okay, I am having some technical difficulties tonight. So Miss, if I disappear, you just keep right on going about your brand, and you just keep right on talking, and I'll just, because we're gonna still let you get this moment in. So you just keep on talking. If it happens to do that again, I'm hoping that it will not. Miss Cynthia Ferguson, thank you for tuning in. I love her. You met her, Nique, at the event, at the Christmas event. She was the teacher of the young ladies that I had published from the school.
Okay.
Yes. So MsNique was telling us how she got started with building the brand. And you want to kind of go ahead and finish touching up on that?
Yeah, so long story short, I wrote the book of poetry. I didn't know if I never wanted to write under, I never wanted to like publish under my government name. And
Okay.
so with my brother always calling me Nique, it just stuck. Like, okay, I'm MsNique. And so that kind of stuck there. And everything took off when I published my memoir, which is entitled "If My Past Wasn't So Dark, My Future Wouldn't Shine So Bright." When
Mm-hmm.
I published that memoir,
Mm-hmm.
that book alone carved
Mm-hmm.
out who MsNique is, who
Yeah.
you all know as MsNique. That was the
Right.
very beginning. Because I was so revealing in my memoir, so honest, so raw about what I had been going, what I had experienced. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize the audience that was there for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I selfishly put the book out there because I wanted to get it out of me.
Yeah.
But then I realized soon after, there's so many people that could relate to my story.
Yeah.
So I set out to live in my truth, so to speak. And that opened up the floodgates. So that's pretty much how I became MsNique. I started going live, talking about my book. I had a book tour. Like I just, and people just started pouring into me, telling me their stories, sharing their experiences and things like that. And I mean, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, all these years later, I'm here still.
That's amazing. And then on top of it, all of the different hats MsNique wears, the testimony, the memoir book that she wrote, she is juggling all of this in the midst of having 10 children. And that's, I mean, just a superwoman. How do you balance your personal life and your professional life? Like how is the median? Like how does that work?
Well, God's grace. Like, I mean, honestly, like when I tell you, and I mean, you can look it up. Like, I have done stage plays. I have done, like roles in movies. Like the little corner of my life that I carved out for MsNique
Yeah.
has been a beautiful nugget, right? Because I haven't had time to coddle her,
Mhm.
mold her, shape her, love her, like none of that. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just been whenever I had time, right?
Hmm.
It's almost like, as a parent, no matter how many children you have, as a
Mm.
parent, oftentimes our lives become about our children and we
Right.
forget about ourselves.
Yeah.
For me, that is no different, right? Times 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it's almost like every time I looked up or every time I got to take a breath,
Yeah.
that's when I got to be MsNique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, the stage plays that I performed in, I didn't have to audition for them. People saw me doing what MsNique do and was just like, you would be great for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with movies. People saw me, they saw my personality, was like, oh, I got a role for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Hmm.
I didn't have the hustle and bustle of having to go out and get work. It was literally like God was bringing me the
Bringing
opportunities.
it to you. Yeah.
Yep. And then I was able to just somehow work it in wherever. And so being a mom of 10, I'm used to what? Juggling,
Yeah.
right? Um, my children have always been my priority and will always be my priority. But I do
Yeah.
have to give some credit to my husband. If it weren't for, him too, being
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
with the kids when they were younger, while I go off and do whatever it is that I want to be able to do, when I get to carve out that little bit of time for myself,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't been able to do it either.
Yeah. Wow. What's the ultimate vision that you see for your brand? I know you've got a lot of different things going now, but where do we go from here? What's next for your brand, MsNique Revamp? What's next?
Stephanie, the easiest way I can tell you this is to tell you that I'm going to be a household name. Period.
Amen. Okay.
I'm going to be a household name.
Yeah.
I want my name to come out of everyone's mouth. You know,
Yeah.
when you think of, inspiration, when you think of strength, when you think of encouragement, when you think of quality, when you think of integrity, when you think of, you know what I mean? Like, I want, just like
Mhm.
people know, famous actresses for maybe their roles,
Yeah.
or, we know musicians for, a favorite song. I just want to be a household name. And I
Yeah.
want that name, and I worked hard on it. I want that name and my brand to
Hmm.
continue to be something that people look for, look toward, and that is a help. That's it. Whether it be through therapy, through my drama, my trauma healing, or through my journals, or through my memoirs, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I just want MsNique Revamp to be a household name. That helps. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So yeah, definitely helping and making a difference. I kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the important causes that you have talked about across your platform, being a speaker and a coach for people that are going through mental health, domestic violence awareness, trauma recovery. You know, we kind of tap into the same lines with those things and kind of shining spotlight on those areas. Kind of tell me, what that looks like for you this year in 2025, as far as what do you have coming up? Mental illness, uh, platforms, domestic violence, trauma recovery. Like, what does 2025 look like for you?
Well, I can say that my calendar is starting to get booked up, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But as and I so I do have an event on March 1st and March 2nd. Um, oh gosh, hold on one second. Don't I'll pull it up while I'm still talking to you.
Okay.
So that I can tell you guys exactly what the event is. But with that said, Um, listen, I get up every day and I do the same thing. I just live my best version of me. And in that, if I'm able to inspire people and encourage people, that's what I do. You know,
Hmm.
I am open. My calendar is open for, more opportunities. So if there are people, wanting to, book me, for hosting events or speaking events and things like that, by all
Right.
means, reach out to me. So on March 1st and 2nd, I am going to be one of many phenomenal speakers at the Power of Community Summit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And it's special to me because every year I look to do something um special, like in a way of giving back for my
Hmm.
birthday. And my birthday happens to be February 28th, and this event is the very next day.
That's
So
my dad's birthday.
February 28th?
February 20th is my dad's birthday. He was actually a leap
Oh,
year. He was actually a leap year, so he celebrates it on the 28th because he was a leap
oh
year.
wow. Look at
Yeah, yeah.
God.
So where is that event going to be located?
Let me see, because I know that we were waiting on, so I will have to give you the information on where exactly the event is going to be. We were waiting on the official location.
Okay, so for all of you that are watching, make sure that you follow MsNique on Facebook. Are you on Instagram as well? Tell us where
I'm
you're
on every
located
single
on
platform.
social media.
I'm on every single platform: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Hopefully, we still have TikTok in a little bit. Yeah, and I'm MsNique Revamp on every single platform.
Yes, yes, yes. What advice would you give to somebody who feels overwhelmed and about their like whatever they're going through in life, and they're not sure where to like start on their healing journey? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Anybody who's feeling overwhelmed, it is my opinion that
Hmm.
that is your internal self asking for attention. Um, it's the things that are within you that are trying to get out that you are suppressing. So I would say, first, get to yourself and
Mm-hmm.
then get with yourself. Have a conversation. Get quiet. Listen to what it is that you're getting overwhelmed and anxious about. And then
Right.
start acknowledging those things. Give them a voice, give them a sound, write them down. And then start to go through that list of things and start to address them as they come up. Right? Um, what I notice and what I know, especially with having 10 children, is it's so easy to get overwhelmed. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
it's like, especially when you are wearing many capes, you are having to, take a breath, because you don't want to explode. You don't want to go off on your children or, go
Yeah.
off on your spouse, and they're not the issue. You just have so much going on. So it's like,
Right.
start prioritizing things. Pay attention to yourself though, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find time to be MsNique.
Right.
Like, you have to find time for yourself. For
Yeah.
me, it's carving out and creating my character, MsNique, who truly is who I am. But as MsNique, I get to focus on me, right? I get to focus on what I like to do, the things I'm interested in, even though that's still helping other people. I get to be me. The focus gets to be on me, right?
Yeah.
When I'm Monique, I'm mom,
Yeah.
I'm wife, I'm sister, I'm daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just when you're feeling overwhelmed, take some time for yourself.
Yeah. That is so important. I don't think enough of us, and I'm sure that men probably go through this too, but I don't think it compares to how much women go through this. That we are often just wearing like so many hats, and especially when you do have children, regardless of if it's one or two. We so often put who we truly are on the back burner. I think it's amazing. I was just listening to what you just said. You said, when I'm MsNique, you pretty much get to be selfish when you're MsNique, because you are selfless when you are serving your husband, when you are serving your kids, when are in Monique mode. And so, I imagine that this um, brand, this creation, this personality, the whole MsNique has been somewhat of an escape and probably even helped you mentally, to be able to cope with some of the things in life. Would you say that would be true?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah,
It's absolutely correct. Again,
yeah,
through MsNique, look at what I've done. I've
yeah.
published books that have
You've
helped
done a
hundreds
lot.
of thousands of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
speak, about healing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, through MsNique, I literally have not just helped me, but I've helped so many other people. So
yeah.
yes, yeah.
And I often say, and I think we have probably said this together as well. When I began writing literally changed my life in the fact that it was such a big release.
Oh yeah.
And not only did it heal me in the process of letting out things that I had not talked about ever or in so many years, but putting it on the paper and then reading it back, i
Yeah.
i had no idea the magnitude of that it would have on the readers as well. And so, it's very courageous. Sometimes we pull back and we're like, oh, I don't want to say that, but it's very courageous, to lay it all out there. I like the fact that you're very bold, with your writing and with your conversations. So I've always thought very highly of you with that. And I say, keep being MsNique.
You know what,
Yes,
Stephanie? I
ma'am.
appreciate that. I want to say this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not bold. I'm honest.
Okay. Okay.
And people don't understand that there is a difference.
Okay.
I think because I'm very matter of fact that
Yeah.
people translate that or can translate that to, oh, she's strong. Baby,
Hmm.
I am simply the strength that I have. sits in my vulnerability.
That's deep.
My vulnerability is my superpower. My
Wow.
determination to live in my truths is my superpower. That's what makes me bold. That's what makes me raw. That's what makes me honest. Because I am on a mission to live my best life. And I'm gonna do that living in my truth and living as best I can.
Yeah.
If that means that I have to do a lot of work on me, then now I'm here for the journey. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've done enough living in secrecy. I've done enough keeping other people's secrets.
Mm,
I've done enough of that. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
now I need to live in my truths.
Yeah.
And you ain't gotta like my truth. You ain't got to
Mm,
agree with my truth.
yeah.
But it is my truth as I see it.
Yeah. And we all have that. We don't have to ask permission to tell our story because we all have a perspective and a viewpoint. And that's the thing about it. You don't have to ask permission,
That's right.
to have your perspective and your viewpoint. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Miss Cynthia said, love that. Thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you for all of you that are tuning in tonight. She said, the truth will set you free. Praise God.
Yes. That's right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you that are
You know,
tuning in tonight. We are talking to MsNique. MsNique has an amazing platform called Msniquerevamp. She is available on all social media platforms. We are here talking about her platform as far as domestic violence, mental health, trauma, recovery, social media, new book releases. She's got a lot of amazing things going on. Let's go ahead and get into your new releases. So, tell us about the couple. I know you have at least 2 or 3 new books that you've released. So, tell us about those new book releases that you just came out with.
right. So, and I appreciate you. I just released a book, beginning of end of November, beginning of December, called "Just Let Me Heal."
Mm,
And "Just Let Me Heal" is a journal. So it is a self-guided um, journal with prompts. So it's my twist on a therapeutic journal.
okay.
I share a bit of my story, and then there are questions in there and plenty of spaces for you, to kind of jot down how you're feeling, right? There are prompts in it that will, that's thought provoking, that will
Mhm.
get you started, on the journey to kind of start healing, you know.
Okay.
So it's like a combination of a book you read as well as one it's kind of like I start the story, you finish it.
Interactive. That's
It is.
really good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
You're interactive.
And
Right.
I love that because not only can they go on the journey, but reflection. When you go back later
Mm-hmm.
and kind of see, your progress that you've made. I kind of like to do that because sometimes we can shock ourselves when we, have one mindset and then a year or two later, you go back and look at what you journaled or what you wrote and you're like, wow, the progress that you've made. So very good. Interactive journal. Okay.
Yes. And
And
I actually have quite a few interactive journals. They're all available on Amazon. But I have that one, Just Let Me Heal, like I said, is the latest one that I just published. You and I are gonna work together to
yeah,
publish my next poetry book, which is well overdue. That poetry book needs to be out. I know. I'm working
yeah.
on it. I'm
I, I
done.
threw I
We'll
threw it out there, poets, because
we'll get it together. We'll get it
I
together.
know that we have
Uh,
that upcoming project. And what inspired you to kind of cross over into poetry? Kind of tell us about that.
well, I started out in poetry. I started out
Okay.
as a spoken word artist.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't
Yes.
know that. Okay.
Yes, I started out. I started out on stages as a spoken word artist. Um, and again, writing. I didn't have anywhere. I didn't have nobody I could talk to growing up. So
Okay.
writing was my only way to get things out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
after a while, and even that had gotten taken away from me because somebody violated me by reading
I remember you telling
my diary.
somebody read your journal, right?
That's right. And so
Mhm.
So then I stopped writing. You know what I'm saying? So like my voice, no matter what, it was determined to be heard, right? And every way that I just knew instinctively to get it out. Nobody taught me how to do this. You got to understand that. Yeah. Nobody taught me how to write. Nobody taught me how to write out my feelings. No one taught me how to cope. You see what I'm saying? Like everything I do was in me. God is these things. You see what I'm saying? Like and then or God, or I went to a therapist and maybe a therapist had suggested writing. It's like, oh, I already write. You know what I'm saying? And I was bringing them my stuff. Like, this is what I write. You know what I mean? So like that stuff was implanted in me. It was already in me. But many times in my life, I've had my voice try to be snatched from me. Told that I'm loud. And then I actually have a saying, a line in one of my poems. Sometimes your voice is so loud you still go unheard. And it's like, how can you be a person with me? I don't just have a voice that carries, but I have a heavy voice. Like, you can't ignore my voice. And yet I can go into a room and still be ignored.
Wow, that's deep.
So I speak louder with my words when I write.
That is very deep. I'm really loving this new vein that I'm in as well, MsNique. I'm moving more. I'm going to continually be a writer and write my books. But as a writer, you can just go across everyone. See, the books we can hide behind the books, but when you get on that mic,
that part.
That's a whole nother story. But I've been challenging myself. I got a lot to say, and I am working on several pieces, and I'm going to be doing some features with poetry coming up here. But listen, when you listen, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone.
That's great. That's great
because my genre for my books traditionally is Christian fiction or Christian literature, right? But I'm kind of jumping out a little bit and kind of trying some different things. I mean, I'm not going to say 20 cuss words or nothing of that sort. But
leave that to me.
Yeah, you got that part. But I'm going to definitely kind of tap in more to talking about some life issues, to talking about real life stuff. Miss Cynthia says, I speak louder with my words. That's really deep but true. Yes, I love when she just said that a few minutes ago. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying now when you said that. So 2024 was a very tough year for me. There were a lot of eye-opening events. Hey, Aunt Peggy, my aunt's watching. Everybody say hi, Aunt Peggy.
Hi, Aunt Peggy.
But listen, 2024 was something else. And so that's where I'm tapping into. And I wrote one, and I kind of started seeing it towards the end of 2024. Snakes, sharks, and leeches. And I actually wrote a poem. Now I'm looking at your facial expression. You already know. I'm looking at your facial expression, and yes, MsNique, I'm stepping out the boat, and I'm really excited about this space. I'm excited about it. Are you froze? MsNique, are you there? Are you there? I think she may be having some technical difficulties, so she'll be back in just a moment. So we are talking about MsNique's brand.
I like it.
Okay, you're back. Let me see. We've got. We have Aunt Peggy say, hello, everyone. In case you didn't know, my niece is amazing and I love her very much. Thank you. Thank you. Are you there, MsNique? Okay, it's kind of cutting out. It's kind of choppy. Let me do this. Okay, is that better? Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. So yeah, 2024, I'm writing with inspiration from 2024.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let me ask you, MsNique. There you go. You're back. Let me ask you, if you were to write a piece of poetry. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was here the whole time.
Oh, okay. If you were to write a piece of poetry to sum up 2024,
yes,
what would that title look like?
Okay.
Can you hear me? MsNique?
The resilience within me.
The resilience within. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. Yes, the resilience within.
Oh Lord. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Testing.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? It's delayed. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, the audio was fine. The audio was just it was delayed. Okay, good. Because it was delayed for a minute there. Like you weren't talking, but I could hear you.
Oh, okay. I think we're almost caught up in the same place now. Finally, we're back. Because they someone said they could
catch me if you can would also be one.
Catch me if you can. Okay, okay. I like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
I was looking at your face and I said snakes, sharks, and leeches. I was looking at your facial expression. Yeah. I learned a lot. I learned a lot in 2024.
Yeah, I like that.
A whole lot, and I'm excited to be writing,
baby.
tapping into it. Yeah, yeah.
And that I like that title. Yeah,
All right,
I like that
MsNique.
title.
We've talked about
I can't wait.
You're gonna be like this. You making me laugh. So I know you have an upcoming event coming up on March the 1st. You've got your new journal releases. Let's talk about this. Social media and branding. Tell us what you're doing.
So, Msniquerevamp is also a brand. I have branded myself. I'm also a content creator.
Okay.
And so, with my serial entrepreneurship, I do a lot with businesses and individuals, right? So whether you're a startup business or you're, Fortune 500 company, I just kind of help you find your voice and find your place within social media. And I do that in multiple ways, whether it be introducing you to, social media platforms, showing you how to post, and so on and so forth. Or if you are a person who is just starting out a new business or wanting to start a new business, I can kind of teach you how to go through it, whether it be from social media, whether it be, you want to create merchandise that has your logo on it.
Right.
I kind of walk you through the entire process. I'm like a one-stop shop.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, before we get ready to close out, Miss Sneak, tell us again how can they contact you and what you got going on so we can make sure everybody's got it. Tell us
Yeah.
about your contacts.
Well, I'm super duper excited to let you all know that my website is finally revamped.
Okay, all right, all right.
Even though I'm still, adding other things to it. So you can actually go to Msniquerevamp.com, and everything you need to know about me is there. I am MsNique Revamp on every single platform. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and so many other ones that you all probably never heard of before. But the easiest way, if you don't even remember which platforms are on, is that you can Google me. I'm Googleable. So if you Google MsNique Revamp, you'll not only pull up my website, but you'll pull up a lot of reviews on me, my services, all kinds of stuff. So
Very good.
I'm
Very
everywhere.
good. Very good. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of words, and I want you to kind of tell me what you think. You can choose one, or you can do all three, whatever you prefer. So, healing, empowerment, transformation. This will forever be the platform. These words are just they're powerful. They're strong, and I know you know how deep these words are. Which one stands out the most for you, or the one you would like to tell us about tonight?
Healing and transformation.
Okay.
In order for you to transform, you got to heal. There is no transformation without healing. Well, I'll say there's no positive transformation without healing. Healing to me is going to always be the numero uno when it comes to anything you want to do in your life. At the end of the day, oh, I see your aunt had a question.
Yeah, she wants to know if you're just Texas or if you're statewide. If you're statewide or just
At
Texas.
the
My
end of
aunt.
the day, everything starts with the healing. I don't
Yeah.
care how big you want. Oh,
Yeah.
I travel.
Yeah. She's in California.
Yes, ma'am. Um, no matter what you do in your life, no matter how far you, oh yeah, no matter, oh, the fires, no matter how far you want to go in your life, understand this: if you don't begin to heal, you're
Yeah.
only going to get there a fraction of yourself.
That's right.
Healing, or beginning that healing journey, is what
Yeah.
allows you to truly give fully who you are to
That's right.
whatever it is you are, whether that be your relationship, whether that be your parenting, whether that be, being with your employer, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. Being able to heal those things that you think you didn't heal. Because, baby, let me tell you something. If it goes unaddressed, it
Yeah.
never gets healed.
That's right.
I don't care how deep or how far up under that rug you push it, it's going to
That's
show
right.
up again in your life somewhere, right?
Somewhere. Right.
In
Yeah.
order to really truly live your best life and really truly live your best self, you got to begin the healing journey. So if you positive transformation, you got to heal.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Listen, Miss Nick, it's always a pleasure for you to come on. We always have such a good time catching up and talking. You are a busy lady, so thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Listen, you have heard from Miss Nique Revamp tonight. She is on all major platforms, and some you haven't heard of. You heard it here first. Make sure that you go out and support She will be having an event on March the 1st. She spoke about that. You can definitely tune in and follow her to find out the exact location of that event. And what are you laughing at, MsNique? What are you laughing at? You can't hear me.
Because you said in all those other platforms you have not heard.
Oh yeah, because you said that's what you said. So thank you for joining us tonight, Msniquerevamp. Thank you all for tuning in tonight to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. Make sure that you like, tag, and share. You definitely want to subscribe to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. Say it again. I couldn't hear you, MsNique. Make sure that you subscribe to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. After this month, you will have to subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to be able to continue to see the new episodes. So if you have not subscribed to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, make sure that you subscribe, okay, so that you can continue to see the new interviews and new content. They will not continue to be on Facebook. You will have to go to the YouTube channel, Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. Okay. Again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Have an amazing afternoon. Thank you.
If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephaniemseatontheauthor@gmail.com.